Oh yeah, they cracked the code if that's the case.
Yeah.
So this could be limited.
Just get the Lunox maybe?
Yeah. Put that in the mid. Yeah, straight up. I mean, in the center of the map, when you're going up against all the pokes of E, the self-sustain is going to help you out greatly, and you can punish aggression if ever you get to Darkening and Chaos Assault out. How would you feel if they suddenly sort of pick up a Zetyan for Stormy?
Maybe last pick if that is the case. Then in that scenario. They would want to get the CC first.
Wow.
For Crab.
We don't know actually if this Vaksha is a jungler. Now we can confirm it's a jungler.
Now it's a jungler.
Yeah. I was just about to say, because not a single time in M7 has Selangor Giants played utility jungle. Not once.
Not once. Alright. So I think without the Esmeralda, you need a little bit of strength here from Alter Ego, but you already have picked up your Freya as well as your Eve. Might not get that from the Expedite. Maybe just a Yu Zhong. It is actually available. Maybe a Yu Zhong for Nino, and then would want to look for another source of stun to actually activate this Freya. Yeah, Kalia is still open, so I think Kalia Yu Zhong will be
Right? With the EXP.
They go back.
Whoa, what is the
That is Rome Blue.
Rome Patrick.
Okay, Alec, ever growing his hero pool. What number is that now?
And SRG,
God.
these were different meta. Angela will be the last pick for SRG. Look at how many good vessels there are for the Angela.
Nice one, baby.
Yeah.
Nice one, baby, but that is very unlikely the scenario.
That's unique. That's a unique pick for Alec right there.
10th unique pickup now for the M7 World Championship, and I think SRG might not have expected this. The big swerve, the Rome Blue, it's even more so worrying now for Sakai to make this Vaksha jungle work.
Yeah. You're left with
got him lined up and
Kimmy. I really don't like SRG's lineup.
It's a weird damage profile.
It's scattered.
It's like a ragdoll.
It's a damage profile that AE are comfortable going into.
I have to vote for Alter Ego, especially after seeing them with this lineup. It's so difficult to go up against this Hypeman that they have built.
Yeah. Leo, Alter Ego also?
Yeah, especially with El Padre on that CC. He's hot with it.
Well, Selangor Red Giants gave 3 crucial heroes to Alter Ego. Heroes integral to the destruction of the Golden Road. Unless SRG suddenly whip out some next level MLBB gameplay, then they might just be falling in this very first game. Malaysia versus Indonesia. SRG versus Alter Ego.
Here we go. Alter Ego just took down a Titan, and now next in sight are the Giants here. Welcome everyone to this best of 5. A spot to the grand finals to face off. Rora from the Philippines is on the line, and it starts here. Bring it up. How are we feeling? I mean, did you get some time to recalibrate after the last match, and now we jump into this one? Whoa, Hidrman.
Okay, I thought we'd be seeing another first blood in less than a minute, but I'm first of all glad to see Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm glad to cast Patrick,
Everyone
but I'm
loves it.
very surprised to see it in Rome. And I guess this goes to show how deep Alter Ego and their pockets are in terms of bringing out these picks or these drafts. But then, overall, I just feel like momentum is definitely on their side. This is a draft that will enable them to keep fighting as much as they want. But SRG, just the same, since they have this very tanky lineup, they just have to find the right targets to go for. And I feel like that's why we're seeing those fast rotations come in. But so far, Alter Ego are just quick to reposition.
And Arfie's been playing this matchup all day long. Freya up against Claude, and he seems to always do well on it. Even Nino getting bullied up top a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel too bad because last game saw him behind 2 deaths and still carried.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to work out too, just because, again, like the panel mentioned, there's basically 3 very comfort picks that we just saw from the last series with Alter Ego. Again, I just feel like I've only seen basically that in the gold lane. It's typically Arfi putting pressure on the Claude as he should, and we know that how that scaling can go here for them. But even so, to see this Leo more into the hands of Yazuke, where he had to go ahead and deal with it from Carl Tizzi in the previous one, you know that they want to go ahead and start things strong. And even for Nino on the CC, I think that was such a big part of that Game 5 in the last series here. So, yeah, if I had to say anything, momentum-wise, Alter Ego Esports should have this with this kind of draft too. I mean, but SRG is going to go claim the turtle.
Nice level 4 over to Cram just in time. A big Raven Spider comes down. Yazuke on the steed, looking for Yumes now. Yumes brought down low. Can Nino get the kill? Yazuke with first blood. So a turtle for a kill. How we feel about that trade?
It feels as if it's still somewhat in favor of Alter Ego, because from the get-go, it didn't seem like they wanted the turtle anyway. They were just standing in the EXP lane. They had their eyes set on Cram. It seems like Cram was the initial target. It just so happened that Yumes was there. He was the more accessible one for them at the moment as SRG transitioned towards potentially considering that fight after the objective. So I feel like this is Alter Ego and their game plan all along, but RP?
Nice gank onto Arfi. In comes the Blazing Duet. Arfi in a bad spot, taking out Sekai's. Able to get the kill. Look at Alec though. Gets a slam. Hijume gets involved as well. Doesn't use RWM just yet. Here comes Barbio. The slam through and they're all caught in the RWM. Yumes trying to do damage on a Hijume as Sekai goes up against Yazuke. It's a 1v2. He pushes him inside and down goes Yazuke.
Sakai is still alive. He's so tanky. Now RP tries to join in.
Alright, RP looking for the battle. Alter Ego decides to back off. It's 2-2.
Okay, that shows us that yes, they want to go ahead and shut down Arfi from scaling up the way we saw him do previously. They make a play there in the gold lane, but then they also have to answer, and they're still going to stay down here. Now, one of the big things that they can play around for Alter Ego Esports, like we just saw, was that combination of having the real world manipulation in your favor, and then you kind of just let to go and let loose with the Phantom Steed and everything else. But there's good response from SRG's lineup. They're capable of fighting back if they want to.
A lot of damage onto Yumes. Yumes won't be able to get away from this one. Yazuke with another kill into his pocket. Add that on with the War Axe. He's 3-1-0. It's looking good for him.
I was supposed to say, Alter Ego so far have found ways to really deal with Stormy. I think so far, considering the damage profile right now, it's really Stormy who you want to go after at that moment. But now it's even Yumes who seems like a really easy target. Alec, wait.
Alec's taking a lot of damage. There goes the RWM though. RP locks onto Cram. Sakai's is able to get the turtle though. Into the backside, Nino looking for damage dealers, but the damage goes all onto RP. Cram able to get the kill, but Alter Ego don't want to let it go now. Hijume and Alec are moving forward. Another kill into the hands of Stormy as Yazuke bites one back. It's a 2 for 2. The turtle still goes to SRG.
They just really want to keep fighting. That was Alec also burning the flicker just to force that dive under the tier 2, making sure that Yazuke too has company as he goes in for the dive.
There's I don't know, it's like a hidden passive about the SpongeBob and Patrick skin. Like, you just want to fight them. There's something about it, man, and that's what happened. Alec was taking all that damage, and it started up that fight that was chosen by SRG. So, you know, amidst it all, some kills obviously went over to Alter Ego, and they had a good fight there, but SRG still maintains the lead. They do have still some control around the map.
You got it.
Oh, did he get the orange buff? Yes. Yazuke will be able to get away safely with this. Cram moving on to Hijume. Yumes there as well. Alec looking to join the fray. A lot of damage from the Blazing Duet. Innocent able to get the kill on a Hijume. Alec's now in trouble. Next on the chopping block, he gets the slam, tries to bring him back, but he's caught in between 4 members. They're going to jump him. They're going to pound him down, and now Yazuke's on the run as well as wants to close the distance. Out comes the Phantom Steed. Innocent now getting involved as well as Yazuke picks up Yumes, flickers through, and Nino gets away safely.
That was a well-timed entry from Innocent. You saw it. Arfi was nowhere to be found during that instant, so there definitely was an advantage towards SRG. But Yazuke, though, the reset and him getting his ultimate for the second time around is still finding something out of that. It's still a really good stat line we're seeing, and he's still ahead of Sakai.
He wants to take them up again.
He's going to take another one here with the pushback onto you. Comes Arfi with the Valkyrie descent. Sakai's going to be in a lot of trouble here. One more hit and he does go down. Yazuke picks up the kill, and now Yazuke's on the run. Cram able to close the distance, though. And now Stormy moving on RV. A nice stun onto Alec. The grab, slam. A nice RV to catch Stormy and Innocent. But Cram is taking him for a ride. Back onto the tower. Alec finally forced to run off. But Nino's onto the tower. He doesn't care about the shots. He's going to get the kill. But Innocent now look for the response with Blazing Duet. The Vengeance able to respond back, and we are back down to calm.
Alter Ego wants to fight the Giants, and the Giants will always fight back. Again, all this for the buff pressure in the jungle is what's happening here. Third turtle is up. We'll see if SRG secures this one again. But man, you got to get up to Alter Ego. The way they like to fight on the map early on, it doesn't matter. They'll take those fights.
And they may have stayed a bit too long there, though, because they were able to take away the objective or the buffs from Sekais, but Sekais was able to get away. And now it's these two marksmen who keep fighting. Hold on.
Big hit on to Cram. Cram's going to go down. Harper comes into the backside, though. Looking to try to get the final hit. Hume's able to find Yasuke. Nino finds Cram as a 1-for-1 and a Blazing Duet locks on to Hijime. And he does go down. Innocent wants another. He's going to chase down Innocent. Doesn't have the BMI currently, but it's just a couple more shots. He finally flickers in. One more hit. But no! Cram won't go down like this.
But he has to get off, and Innocent's just going to go again, but you can't chase him down with flying clouds.
Walks into Stormy. Eyes
Nino.
there as well. Now Nino in the back. Let's get under the base safely. What is going on?
That's the curtain call. He could have reached. He could have reached it. He could have went for the chase, but
He was tied up.
he was tied
Tied
up.
up by the yo-yo, man. I mean, hey, that's about as good as it will get in those engages. But man, Alter Ego Esports, you know, looking at the items too, falling into place here, you've got to go with some defense, and that's why you got those brute forces built in.
Yeah.
Nino has to help Yuzuke, especially when they decide to go into these fights again, fighting around the real world manipulation. It does help them kind of lock down the control, but so far, notice how SRG has taken these fights. They also have pretty good defensiveness now too, with the couple chastised pauldrons they have, plus the Dom Ice on Yumes. He picks up his own, so they are going into these fights ready to just kind of brawl it out defensively.
And Alter Ego does not have that just yet. They don't have a direct answer to Innocent, who, compared to what we've seen whenever RV on the Freya goes up against the Claude in their previous series against Liquid, seems to be performing much better on the Claude. These early decisions to join the fights, the amount of damage you get to see from him, and that Swift Trinity already completed in 9 minutes means so much about how Innocent was able to.
Well, not only that, but Singapore Red Giants as a whole made a great job at ganking that gold lane to make sure Innocent had a good experience.
You know where that is? Because I see that fight with RP multiple times in the last series. They're like, you know what? If we want to go ahead and have a better chance here, Innocent's got to do his thing, but we also got to allow him to do his thing. And so that one or two times they went down and kind of focused on that to get that kill, or at least to stop RP from bullying the lane early on, that's what helped bring them to this point. Now they've got control around this first Lord here. Alter Ego, though, trying to get a position for this, unless they go for RP. Okay.
He's just going to get pushed back. There's the commit, though. Big Brave Spider with a Blazing Duet from Innocent. Ijume now just trying to get away, but he's going to get chopped down. Yasuke does bring out the Phantom Steed, but at this point, AE just wants to get away free. SRG now looking, pacing. Arfi gonna back off. They just want the Lord. Will AE give it to him?
Arfi wasn't the real target. When they saw Arfi and when they felt that SRG might actually go for him, Hijume, the other members were forced to reveal themselves, and unknowingly, Cram was there, ready to jump on them anytime. And that was the perfect cue for Innocent to just use the Blazing Duet.
Margin toward them. They don't care. They'll go for it. The Purify will not save Stormy.
Yep. And such a brutal way to deal with Cram, who you saw for how many times in a row now was just able to easily get access to Hijume. But during that moment, where it wasn't such a reactive real-world manipulation that you get to see from Hijume, he was being well guarded by the other members of Alter Ego. Surprisingly, they have ways, they have damage to already deal with this guy, and that is something you could also expect from them in the upcoming team fight, so long as they're able to set up. But Sekais,
Nice dodges from Alec and Arfi.
Oh, there's the re-engage.
Does get the grab. Force use a flicker, and comes Cram with a Bravest Fighter. Innocent gets some more free shots. RBL does come out. but AE decides to disengage.
All right, they wanted, like, there was an attempt to set something up. They didn't get the setup they were looking for if you're SRG, and then Alec decided to go and engage and get zoned out from his team. Nothing too bad, though, because, again, that one kill doesn't really change the course of the game. They're, at this point, playing into the Lord here in about 1:20.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking at the itemization and everything else, even the space on the map, it's nearly even, right? 3 turrets are down, Alter Ego's got that, SRG has 3 now as well. So it's more so about these constant fights that we've seen breaking out. How do the adjustments be made here? Again, once we get to some of those defensive items coming into place, that's where you'll see a little more finesse that's needed for the team to have that upper hand. Conceals also are going to be a big part of this.
Yeah, and it's also maybe a Flying Clouds thing where
Yeah, that's
they
true.
just constantly find themselves back wherever the team fight was last seen, and they just constantly find ways to start again, which I think has been working really well so far for both of these teams, because it's just really a matter of which I think has been working really well.
adashmasam hozir Inter gollarda
Really a matter of
hozirgi
timing
turnirda
and gets to
Innocent ko'p ish qo'yapti bu turnirda Savaga ham qildi.
especially considering now that we're approaching more important
В целом yaxshi o'ynayapti.
the gold lead hasn't really swung significantly in any of these teams. So far, it's always been less than 4K. I guess the most significant you could really look at is how Yazuki is almost
Ma xatosiz ketyapti. Oy to'xta baksiz.
Biraya qolib ketishi mumkin bu yerda. Ayo chiqib qoldi.
Yaxshi ulgurdi.
5 sekund Lord past talga chiqib olgisi kelyapti Freyani. O'ng taraf просто Lord turib tasha oladimi yoki yo'qmi?
Kram hujumida Kram chiqdi.
O'ng taraf просто Lord turib tasha oldi. Chap taraf ulguradimi yo'qmi unga? Lord yarim xilpasi qoldi. Nino kartani ochyapti.
Kishini boyab qo'ygan.
Bu Lord qo'yib yuborishdi.
Lord qo'yib yubordi. Qaytadan chaqirib olib bayt qilishdi SRG. SRG hozir if chiqib oldi lekin if chiqib oldi. Cheki. Innocent o'zi chiqib olish kerak endi orqaga qaytadi.
Kram qolib ketdi.
Kram oladi yuztadi.
Frey ham chiqib qoldi, xarosh. Baksi yo'qib ketishi mumkin hozir.
Ha, Baksiga endi gol o'tiryapti. Gol olib chiqyapti Baksini bu yoqqa. Baksiga juda katta o'rin kirib ketyapti.
Oy. Mega kill Ninodan.
Mega kill.
Innocent antifis.
Antifizga
Yazuki ultasi chiqdi.
Oy, sal qoldi Stormi ham bo'lishi. Alter Ego xarosh. SRG qaytanga bayt qildi. O'shani o'zligini qaytib turdi.
Mana hayron qoldim. Shuni chaqirib oldi keyin Zilonidan anu keldi, Baksi ko'rdingmi? Lekin baba shunda ham chap taraf akkurat o'ynab o'zini yo'qotib qo'yishmadi.
Harakat qildi, lekin o'zligini yo'qotishmadi Alter Ego.
Gap yo'q lekin. Hayronman.
Kram qolib ketgan yaxshi bo'ldi. No, Kram anaqa bergani yo'q, flik bergani yo'q.
Alfi juda ham tepani ochgisi keldi va uddaladi u narsani.
O'zi ham bemalol qaytib chiqdi.
Lord pastdan kelyapti o'zi.
Lord cho'za o'tirsa kerak hozir.
Shunaqa qiladi.
Lord ancha uzoqda to'xtatdi SRGdan. Va yana to'xtatdi. 5 sekunddan chiqadi.
Chechini ultasi ketdi, u ish chiqsa yo'q.
Not only that, but also, again, RP is doing a great job at trying to go for Stormy, and then the team, SRG, kind of has to deal with that and help Stormy heal. And that's why Cram ended up dying, because he was separated from the team. So that is going to continue to happen in team fights.
Lordda zaxot bor. Hozir Lord kastavach qiladi Towerga. Ivdan kletga qo'yilindi. Bo'yi Kram juda ham oldinga chiqib ketdi. Orqadan Yums kelyapti keldi, lekin hech bola qololmaydi. Nino, Sekus qolib ketishi mumkin.
Buni yaxshi o'tiravergan lekin.
O'yo pastdan zo'r urib chiqardi Innocent. O'zi ham direkt chiqib ketdi. Yuzini uzib oldi hammani boru.
Ikki chaqiribdi. 2 rasmiy.
Innocent juda ham katta urib chiqardi. 6-0
Nafasga ketdi bo'ylam.
That was enough to keep them in the game, but man, RP is a menace on this Freya. He might have had a hard time in the early game.
Pastdan kirishib qolyapti. Aldrigo past juda ham ochgisi kelyapti bu narsani. Da Freya sakradi, past ochib yuboradi. O'zligi ish qoladimi yoki yo'q?
Yuz qoladi. Kimi antifiz Freya o'lishi mumkin. Oy.
Babangi sakradi.
Babang sakradi.
Strik ham yo'q, просто Lord ham qalaver chiqmaydi. O'zi chiqolmasligini bildi. Просто o'ynayapti. Klik ham shtat o'tirgan yo'q, to'g'ri. Olib chiqolmasdan.
Ultimately, there's some damage on the turret.
Tetri ochib yuborishdi.
But still, nonetheless, They keep
Yeah,
things
much.
unfortunately
Lord
intact.
Basta.
Face turn still
SLG bemalol chiqoldi bu narsaga.
picked up as well. Now you've got the immortality in the hands of you.
Perifar olti chiqdi, yo'lsa ham bo'ladi buni.
About this is innocent, getting value
Kontrol
out of what
o'ynamaydi.
he's doing.
Kimyo antifriz olgan.
Malefic gun now, so he's got that rose gold and a win in nature for
Da o'yin letga keldi o'sha.
That's the hard thing is actually getting use of the damage profile they have. That's why Scandal mentioned this, that the damage profile of it and making it work is a little finicky, and you just gotta deal with that off.
So maybe that's why RP really wanted to force that, because he knew. Well, I guess
Klubga klubni nima qiladi? Chiqib olish kerak bu yerdan.
Bu krandan sakragan, qolur.
Ma'murni olib ketishyapti.
O'yda sakradi.
Inantinanchimiz bilan Freyni o'tirib chiqib oldi lekin hozir.
Walking onto RP.
Hozir nima bo'ladi? Ikkita taraf ham cho'chyapti bir-biriga. Falcon antifriz ketgan.
Yeah, it's gonna be enough time for
ketdi,
them
lekin
to
ultasi borda, hali.
reset and
Brianna meteor ketdi.
They'll be making sure that they take care of the waves though. Fortunately for them, one base turn's already down for SRG.
Yeah, they can work this. Lord is up. Gonna be started here.
Hello.
Will evolve shortly.
Huh?
Again, Flying Clouds,
Okay.
traditionally one of the maps.
Da Frey ingni o'qib ketgan. Ban qilish kerak bu.
Altrigo tepada kriplari yaxshi kelyapti. SRG bab kimdir ketish kerak. Hozir Lord qo'yib yuborgan yaxshi menimcha. No, Sekus o'ynashyapti hozir. Sekus o'lib ketishi ham mumkin, bitta kontorni bitta kirib ketadi chunki. Sekus
Bo'ladi menimcha. Sekus da Freyga qo'yib yubormayapti, fight davom etyapti.
Kran ham o'lib ketadi hozir bitta. Umuman
Yumsi ham qo'yib yuborishmayapti.
yumsan o'ladi hozir. Innocent sakradi, babang.
Ustida lekin glue o'tiribdi, ustida glue o'tiribdi. Ha, voy, Leomord birinchi qoldi, bo'ldi gaga bu.
Bruno.
Uya себе. Ya Frey ham to'xtatib bo'lmayapti.
Ya Frey vashi kasa bilan nogiron qilib qo'ydi. Vashi sekinlashtirib tashladi.
Imba. Birinchi katga olishdi. Tronga o'ynash kerak endi. Boyagidek bo'lmasin nimadirlar.
Yaxshi. Bruno Altrigo vashi SRG'ni chiqarorsa, finalga Aurorani yutib qo'ysa ham bo'ladi.
For this series,
Indoneziyaga 5 yil deganda ham yutsa.
my goodness, I gotta say, man, take down.
Allo, ayni haterlar qani bilan? Ayni hater yo'q edi.
Imagine there was so much focus on him from SRG in the early portion of the game. That comes in, boom, he comes back and locks in.
Vashi,
This is a
bu meta vashi grazno
Ayni hech kim tanimasdi. O'yzam. Mashingacha.
The Valkyrie was
Ay
just
emet
tearing
tutsa
apart.
nima qilas? Ay emet ishlama qilgan. Men ishlashim yo'q bu. Talashadigan narsam qolmagan.
For the laning phase, at least for a couple of team fights which we saw in the early game, he
O'zida bitta ayni muxlis bor edi, ko'payib ketdi bular.
that you would consider to be favoring the Freya, but that wasn't enough to save them in this game where RP just kept jumping in and
Allo, men faqat M2da ko'rmaganman. Ito, siz ayni eng katta qilgan ishini bilmagansiz.
that last fight.
Qana qilib siz o'zingizni ayni fanatiman deyishingiz mumkin. Kamanda butun umrda bir marta emga chiqqan o'shani bilmaydi, men fanatiman deb.
So he adjusted, especially around the mid game. He's like, I'm gonna go for Stormy, I'm gonna go for Skies. I don't care as long as I'm able to get a resource out or potentially a kill. And eventually, he stayed
Freya
so
ban
much
yustaliban bo'ladi hozir.
that he was just shredding through anybody he picked.
Bu yo'y ayni znay как
Again,
контрить
amazing
Freya.
game there, game one in the series. Let's throw over to the panel
O'ynaganda
to talk
bo'ladi,
about
error
game one.
22 kills in the first
Daar is 12 fan.
minutes of the
Stel.
game. I wish there was a group of people who suggested that the Freya and the
All
Leopard
the haters
probably
keep
shouldn't
asking
have been
for
given
guarantee.
the Altered Ego,
That's it,
right?
that's
Who
what
that?
it is.
Who that?
I wonder, you know, I wonder. Well, because we already saw
Просто
in the
yomon
first
emas,
few-
anti-shot
first
GS
series
bo'lgan.
today that
Yes
was-
va tezroq
this would be a
plus
problem, but
urg'on
now
tezroq
Cloud
otasi.
ko'pchilik oladi.
now,
GS bizmisiz
the
hech qanaqa
result. You
statist.
can't spell Freya
Statist.
without Arfi.
That
O oldindan
is
bo'lgan narsa.
actually
Hamma
so
qiladi bu narsani.
true. It's built into the
Bo'ladi,
name of
nima
the
deb o'ylaysiz?
hero.
S plus
RP
100
Freya
foiz.
is there. So why do
Cloud
you
mas
keep
S
giving
plus.
it? Let's look first at the laning.
Balki bir xilda bo'lishib
You
olishadi,
mentioned
kim
the
biladi.
guys Innocent needed to be on team and
Lekin bu RBga chidaydigan giroylar olish kerak
He
maksimal.
handled RP lane so well.
Demi
And
zo'r
SRG
ketayotgan
handled
nima
Unaqa
RP,
shunaqa.
but it's
Просто
not
Freya
the
urib,
same
urib,
for Altered
sekinlashtirib
Ego, as
tashlab
we've
kassa
already
bilan.
seen. Once they hit their power spikes, they have such a great
Assalomu alaykum, va alaykum assalom,
of the
Sukuna.
limits and strengths
Final
of
ayo
the
chiqsa
hero
stream
with the
qilaman, poh.
favorite hero pool that they will
Yoqing,
make
yoqing,
work
yoqing.
every time.
Leo plus Chichi plus Freya yorardi. Hammasi yorardi, Glue ham yorardi.
In this
Oxirida Ivanlarni kletga qo'ydi. Hammasi yaxshi o'ynadi oxirida. Baksi ham chidamayapti. Mana hayron qoldim. Baksi chidaydi bo'ladi. Baksi hech bola qila olmadi. Shu vaqtda Fred bo'lgan undan battar bang'illab ketgan bo'lardi. Pre-gold kiyinbami shunda-da. Endi Munton tashkillashtirdim-da shunaqa. Na yil bor edi, qaysi komandaga o'tib ketdi bilmadim lekin. Pova olsa bo'ladimi RBG? No, Povis olsa bo'ladi, просто Povis oyog'i yo'q-da.
Each player, specifically Arfi, who is my personal vote as the MVP, is like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, especially the last.
Kerini olish kerak edi yoki Esma. Bilmadim.
Into innocent first. Then he was able to dodge, but he still able.
Okay, Freya kim birinchi first qilish boshladi?
Eventually snowball from there.
Shvetsarkada kimdir first qilish boshladi, lekin Freya
Also
bot.
the feeling that he was able to give for his teammates, because I think that the MO for for SRG was to get into where Hijome was.
Fred bo'lganda boshqacha bo'lsa kerak. Hech bo'lmasa ultasida katta o'rin bor, yo Fred bo'lsa start olish olmasdi. No, SSG ko'rdi o'yinni boshida baholi Baksi bilan manasi bo'ldi. Fred bilan bo'lmasdi bu narsa. Fred chidamaydi o'yinni boshida qancha. Fred yaxshi golga faqat turikda rankda emas shuninglar. No, rankda ham balki
Rankda даже bundan battar bo'lsa kerak.
Nega Janubiy Amerika USA dan jamoalar yo'q bitdi? Bor. Janubiy Amerikadan faqat Chili chiqdi-yu. Biz degan komanda chiqolmadi play-offga. Boshladi Freya Gold olib Yangonga qarshi oldi, esimda yo'q.
M5 Kairiyle yutmagan ular hech qachon.
Yevropadan komandalar yo'q, umuman yo'q.
Perfect for flying cloud. They have heroes.
Munton direktor bilmaymanmi, qayerdan biladi.
To be ultimate dependent, but then Yasuke will just have to wait for it. Nino's timing on the curtain wall,
Yasuke
Emir Malterego shunda faqat.
to impress us and win us over to become Alter champion.
Men ham kutmadim, Altrigon ham o'zi kalam o'tirdi. Anaqasiga, Altrigon hater bo'lib turgan anaqasiga, chiqolmaydi bilib, Shvetsarkada Slaviya komandani yutib chiqdi, tepada keyin Aurora
Shvetsarkada shunaqa bo'ldi.
Faqat Slaviya anani yutqizdi. Keyin
Seriyozning komanda tushmadi Shvetsarkada.
TSga qarshi Ay tushganda xursand bo'ldi. O Ayga qarshi o'ynaytsa, shansi bor yaxshigina. No, keyin ko'rding nima bo'lib ketdi bugun. Qayerga yig'layotganda-yu, qaysidir turib ketganda, yutganda yutqizganda yig'ildi shekil. M5 finalda.
Difficult for Innocent to position himself, and when
Yevropadan turklar menimcha. U Yevropa anusidan chiqmaydi, Turkiya anusidan chiqadi. Atak Turkiya Yevropaning anusi tarkibida to'g'ri. Lekin Turkiya faqat Turkiyaning o'zining chempionati bor, to'g'rimi? Da, MTC Turkiya chempionati bor. Bu degani Ukraina yoki boshqa Italiya, Fransiya komandalar o'ynamaydi uni MPLda. MTC'sida o'zi
chempionat nomidan ham chiqmaydi, Turkiya nomidan chiqadi faqat.
7-0-8 on this CC that packs more damage.
Da Turkiya Yevropaning просто anusi o'zining chempionati boshqa alohida o'zinik. O'ta Yevropa komandalar chiqmaydi. To'ba har kirganda ay yutotdi-da, men hayronman.
Even his choice of defensive item in the brute force breastplate.
Finalga teng o'yinmi? Bundan battar bo'ladi bu kech.
Defensive item that we have.
Grand final qanaqa bo'larkan, bu o'yinda shunaqa ketayotgan bo'lsa. Da Turkiya o'zida slotida.
I think that Alter Ego Esports have decided this composition to win in this meta game that we have right now. Professor X have built this.
Algan keldi, qoch.
The strategy Leomore.
Innocentga so'rab berdilar, berishmaydi.
In day one of the
Man qilishyapti. Alter Ego zo'r tayyorlanyapti. Menimcha shu treneri juda ham kuchli bo'ladi bor. Draftda uncha draftdan yaxshi chiqyapti-da. Ko'pchilikni peridraft qilib qo'yishyapti даже.
Freya needs to be banned. I feel like if SRG still wants to win the series.
And that's the thing. You ban Freya.
Chempionski Lamort Elisusinga chiqadimi bilmaymiz.
New problem to find solutions to. If you ban out the Freya, something's gotta give. You're gonna have to consider what else.
Final shu best of 11 qilsa bo'lardi, kuni bo'yi ko'rardik. Best of 11 hech ko'rmaganman, maksimum best of 9 ko'rganman. To'lagan rahmis kelsin. So much bro tapor temami Freyaga da mana kassa tapor qilishyapti. Men bilmayman Freyaga nima yig'adi. Sborkasini ko'rasizlar bo'ladi. Mana shu yerdan nima yig'ishyapti, shuni yig'inglar maslahatim.
Bemalol yig'inglar shu ekan. Bola solo aytar.
I think it's just evident that SRG
Da,
is
Nino
representing
Nikadesi.
also
7.08.
the jungler as of
Let's say
now.
Yevropa
Until
nomidan
we see
chiqadi. Yomon
good
amkalla
unity
bo'lsalar,
fair
madirlar.
composition, maybe that's
Okey, dezinfo yozayaptilar, hozir hamma ishonadi. Bizda Yevropa
Reisga umuman ishonmaylar aytsa ham. Qolagan gapni gapiradi.
fighter versus utility. They have to use a
o'sha ayin treneriga olib keling va Morra MSK ga olib chiqadi. MCC ga. Faqat sizda faqat gap shunaqa olib kelingmi boshqa. O'zi maktab o'qisiz. Maktab bitiryapti, aka haqida fikringiz metami yo'q. Tankalesga variant qolmasa, tankka olsanglar bo'ladi. O'tib aka olsanglar bo'ladi. Agar variant qolmasa, Baxi bilan Fred
Alo,
yo'q.
senga nomidan unda EU ham qatnashadi.
Siz o'zbeklarmi yo'q.
Unda Yevropa nomidan deyishingiz kerak emas, SNG nomidan deyishingiz kerak. MC'da SNG Yevropani komandalari yo'q, hozir to'g'ri? Oldin Ukraina bo'lardi, SNG tarkibida bo'lgan payt. Hozir Ukraina o'yinchilari chiqsa ham SNGdan chiqadi-yu. SNGdan boshqa slot yo'q.
Uning O'zbekiston treneri kim edi, yoki bilmayman. Nino bilan Yazuki M7 yutish uchun nima bo'lsa qilyapti, da. Endi hammasi harakat qilyapti, faqat ular emas. Kecha skrin tashlash ismida. Kamron Qo'chqorov prosta millati. Rossiyada o'z bilsanglar juda ham ko'p millatlar bor. Kavkazlar o'z juda ham ko'p millatlar bor. O'sha Qo'chqorov degan Kemirandi, u bunaqa ism faqat o'zbeklar ismi emas u. Arabcha ism bo'lsa kerak.
Savol VP qaysi komandasiligiga qaramaydi umuman. Umuman u narsaga qaramaydi. Organizatsiya любой davlat bo'lishi mumkin. Team Spirit va Serbiyaniki. Lekin SNG nomidan chiqadi. Bitta qilib SNG aytiladi, bo'ldi u. Region alishuradi. Uniki ham kerak bo'lsa MC ga qaysi komanda tiqishi mumkin. Haqqa bor.
Okey, ovqatlandinglarmi? Ovqatlayapmiz. Xato qilmagan o'shalarda iminda boshqalarga qaraganda.
Xolasa kelsa 12 anaqa bo'lishi mumkin. MC da ham paydo bo'lib qolishi mumkin. Komanda.
Unda hamma pikni va bani trener qiladimi? Agar trener bo'lsa qiladi. Baba kelishib qiladi, guruhlar bilan gaplashib, lekin oxirgi qarori trener qiladi, juda ham katta ehtimol bilan.
Xolasa app bilan ochishadi MC ga. Umuman u narsa farqi yo'q.
Sho'rlatmasda Chimbro Mimorozov.
Sometimes he, transforms into.
Yeb bo'lib gapiringlar, ko'ylanib ketdi. Uyaltirmanglar, qoni osh rahmiylik kelsa-chi. Chiqib ketmaymiz yo'q. Realme 15 yaxshi telefon.
He is here at M7 to experience the world of gaming and
Sorry,
esports
what's wrong?
alongside all the amazing MLBB fans. Here to cheer on every team.
Masalan, uyaltirsa, bizlar o'zi webga yoqmadi. Yoqqanda nimadir bidir qilasizlar chatda. Qaytida o'tirasizlar.
We get it, V. You always make that joke.
Bitta bemalolga. Hammaqasini qo'l qolsin. Pulingni qo'yib qo'y. Kim ko'rmayapti. Kreslo yangi oldimi? Yo'q, o'sha eski.
MRO participants here in Indonesia. This is the MLBB Rising. It's back. It's still open to everyone. And join. Now make your upgrades. You can earn hero power from victories based on your weekly champion rank and team up with friends to form a 5-player team to compete. Rewards are stacked, win or lose.